These are the stones gifted to me by Sarah, who also helps run the live show. And got some really cool ones here. Obviously, I think this is a fan favorite. I really love this. There's a dispute running between a bunch of people about whether this is carnelian or some type of agate. Both, as far as I know, are mostly quartz-based. So either way, nobody's technically that wrong, but you can tell me in the comments what you think it is. But anyway, it's very cool. Heart shape, and I'm going to use some of that square wire that I've been loving. This is going to be very freeform, which is the most relaxing for me. I just love it. And so how much should I take? Generally, I take about 2 feet. Let's maybe take a tiny bit more because it's kind of a large stone. So let's say maybe 2.5 feet. We'll come to the middle of the wire. Put the two ends together so we can find the very middle. We'll make ourselves a nice bail. We're going to do the three loop bail. That seems to work really well with square wire. Seems like it's almost made for it. So you just basically carefully come around 3 times. If you want it to be perfect, you can put like a skinny pen through there or a paintbrush. But I just like doing it freeform with my fingers because it just kind of lines itself up. It's really not that hard to line it up. Especially the square wire just kind of falls into a groove. And before you know it, there you are, boom. And then you just give it 1 turn. That's all you need for this stuff. The cool thing about square wire is it like holds its place better. It's like kind of like the ultimate, I don't know how to describe it, but you just got to try it out. So I don't want the bail up this high, so I'm going to try something new. I'm going to untwist it. And I'm just going to go for it like this. Like, there it is. That's how it's going to be. And already it's kind of fitting nicely in that little groove at the top of the heart. So what are we going to do? We're just going to go front and back. Which side do we like better? There's really no right or... Let's figure out which side comes out nicer, because I like both sides. I really like this side, so this kind of ended up being the front, and we'll just keep going with that. So, let's see. I'm going to give it a nice loop to start. And then we'll come around and give it some curvy curves. Put some curves on the curvy heart. Oof. Slipping all over the place. I'm holding it steady. I'm doing my best, guys. All right, let's press it tight. Press it tight and as tight as we can. Get that in the groove. Hold it tight. Come around. What are we doing on this side? I don't want to come straight down. I want some prettiness on this side too. But this might be the back, so I'm not going to... I'll start out kind of like a little bit conservative, not go too wild. We'll just do maybe this. I want this across the other way, like... Okay. Like that, and... Boom. Now they're starting to cross. Make sure everything is super tight. I'm pressing down, pressing from every direction with almost all 5 fingers. And, oh, keep sliding. You don't have to do it this way. This is not the way you have to wrap where you're slipping all over the place. But I love this freeform wrap. I don't care if it's a little tricky until you get the first parts anchored. Now let's do our first swirl. I don't think I've done an actual, like this 2-part swirl with square wire. So pressing it tight, and these are just going to chase each other around. See how this comes out. Each side just keeps coming around. I had to jump to the pliers early. I usually just do this with my fingers, but square wire is pretty tough on your fingers if you're not used to it. Oh, I love this already. Look at that swirl. And I know exactly what I want to do. I'm going to come out like this, and I'm going to come straight up. I'm going to mirror this curve here and just come right up there. Sometimes a simple curve is more elegant and beautiful than like a wild tapestry. And then other times a wild tapestry is just the funkiest, coolest thing ever. There's no like hard, fast rule for something that will always apply. Every situation's a little different. Automatically, now with that swirl, this is starting to look like the front. Which one will become the real front? We will find out. Because honestly, I don't even know. So I do know that this is feeling like it's... See how it's still slipping out? It's slipping out. This is feeling kind of luxurious. And because it keeps slipping this way, the obvious thing to do next is to anchor it back this way. And obviously, we'll come around here like this, give that a nice curve. And we'll come around with this one. And, oh, I'm wishing I gave myself more wire to play with now, but I'm glad I only gave myself what I did, because that forces me to really conserve it and try to do the best with every single inch of it. But this is going to turn into a swirl right here now. And I'm getting low on wire. Coming around. Coming around. The good news is it's starting to slip less in my fingers. It's starting to actually really get anchored. It's not totally yet. We're getting there, but see, I hope most of this has been getting on camera. I've just been looking at the stone, not the camera. Let me try to give you guys better visuals of what's really happening here. It's really beautiful. All right. That's coming around. This is coming around. Make that swirl a little tighter. And yeah, I feel like they both want to stay together, and they want to come back to the scarf. No, maybe not. Maybe this one wants to come up here, and this one definitely wants to scarf. And I think this one is done because he's at the end of himself. Now this one here, we can still have one more go around to play with. And where do we want to put it? Well, let's look. That has some empty space, and this has some empty space. Can we hit them both? I think we can. We'll come around like this. I think we'll mirror this curve right here. So we're gonna go squeeze it, loop-de-loop. Look at that. That's a nice mirroring, I would say. And now what do we want to do down here? Oh, we want to come up here. So that's perfect. We're right in position. We'll come right across. Should I try to sneak under him? Do I have the leverage to get underneath this guy, or should I just go right over top and not worry about it? I'm gonna go right over top because I'm afraid if I try to sneak it under, I'm gonna just mess this curve up in the process. So look at that. That's really, I think that's come out pretty cool. Hopefully you guys agree. And here we are straight up here. Let's come up. Let's give it a little bit of a curvy curve. Get right in there, and we're gonna come right across those guys, and that's it. We're out of wire. I think forcing me to only do two. It was really only about 2 feet, and I think that forced me to keep me from overdoing it. Otherwise, I would have just kept putting more and more and covering up the stone. So this guy is done. He's pretty much, we'll just cut him and tuck him in to that little bowl made right there. Oh, careful, that stuff will shoot at you. Close your eyes or wear safety glasses or you know, even if you think you're shooting it away from you, it can ricochet. I'm tucking that right in there. And I think this guy's just gonna tuck too, yeah. Yeah, he's finished. He's gonna do the tuck too. So we put a scarf around that little loop at the top, and he's coming around for his final pass. Cut him halfway. We really used up almost every inch of wire. That's like superb. I'm really happy with this. Now, this is actually holding, but it's not secure enough to sell because one little slip, if I squeeze it like that, that stone will pop right out. So, you know, you have to make your pieces human-proof. You know, all the things that humans do. They're wearing this necklace, they dance, they hug someone, boof, stone pops out on the floor, bounces around the dance floor. Not a good what's the word? Not a good reputation to give yourself as an artist. You know, the artist that creates booby trap necklaces. Booby trap necklaces just shoot stones at people randomly when no one expects it. Now, do I want this? I was going to twist this. Should I? Let's see if we even can. This is pretty tough in there. Should we twist that and make it the bail that comes out like that? Well, I did twist it. Did I mess up anything in the process? Doesn't look like it. Should I separate these guys and see what happens? They're really in there tight. I don't even think I can get in there. I think I'm going to go back. I really like the look like that. I'm just going to go back and keep that. And so now we're going to get some 24 gauge. You could use 26. I have 26 somewhere, but I happen to find this 24, and it's pretty much going to be the same. So I don't know where all we're going to anchor it, but just to be on the safe side, again, let's take about 2 feet. And we definitely need some anchorage over here. Anchorage, haha, that's the name of the city. I'm going to press this. I want this really deep in there. I'm going to squeeze it like that a little bit too. All right, now, yeah, that's definitely the weakest part. That's, so let's just make it easy and start right there. I'll come under here. Pull it up with my fingernail, get it in there. There we go, pull it to the middle. It's about the middle, okay. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to take both these strands and do something with each of them. This strand's going to come up to the top here. And because this wire is a little bit more visible than a really thin gauge, I'm going to make this wire part of the tapestry. I'm going to make it part of the beauty. It's not just going to be functional holding the stone together. We're going to try to add more elegance with whatever we add with this wire. So I threaded it through this side here. What do we do next? I don't know. Let's anchor this side. This side's coming right for the curve, so let's put it through there. You gotta lift that up. There you go. We're in. We're in, and we're coming through. Oh, this is threading really nicely so far. I'm kind of enjoying this. When you really get a feel for your wire and you become one with it, you can really feel which way it wants to go, and then you move with it instead of fighting it. Ugh, I can't tell you. It's like the difference between total frustration and total butter. Butter, like butter and bread. All right, so we need to thread this guy around. So we're gonna pass another. We're gonna pass under it again. Sorry, I'm trying to keep an eye on the camera, making sure I'm giving you guys good shots of all this. Look, comes right for that curve. Perfect. This is going to be really pretty, I think. It's not going to look busy, I'm hoping. I'm feeling like this is going to be really nice. It's going to be a really nice... You can see it's starting to pull that part closer to the edge of the heart, which is what I want, because that part was looking really naked over there. Naked heart, how scandalous. Oh, okay. And now this, I can come right through here again. Lift that up. Whoops, get it over there. Nice, I'm liking this. That's moving a bit, so let's see if we can work our way over there and do something about it. I want to get under this guy first, because I sometimes it's better to, when you're threading, it's better to work your way over by, kind of monkey bar jumping from one section to the next, not just try to jump over across pieces. That'll make your wire more messy. Sometimes if you just jump from one to the next to the next to the next, it'll come out much cleaner and tighter, as opposed to if you just take the wire and try to jump all the way over there, and then you have this big loose piece of wire that can flop around, and it generally doesn't look as good either. But make sure you're pulling it tight at each connection, because otherwise it'll look really messy too. So, all right, so that guy's moving. We're going to get under him. or her. Maybe it's a curve. Maybe it's a her. And I want the wire to sit right in that curve, so I got to direct it as it's coming through. Because if you don't direct your wire, sometimes it comes out somewhere else. Okay. So immediately it wants to keep sliding up this way, so I definitely have to come back down with it to anchor it somewhere lower. And the most obvious spot would be the next curve right here. Like I said, jump from branch to branch like a monkey instead of trying to jump all the way across and skip several branches. I guess what kind of animal would do that? Like a flying squirrel? I don't know. Don't listen to me. I'm a mess with my analogies today. Now I think I want to come to this section right here because that just feels like another section that could use some help. So I'm going to go underneath this twice to really get that stronger in there. Pull it through. And let's see, we want to get not just under there, we want to get under the entire X so it stays put. So this part is really tight. We have to get our fingernail under there and lift it. And it's good, we got it. Pull. Get it nice and tight. Yep, feels good. Everything's feeling really secure. Let's look back at the front. The front looks good. This is a kind of a weak spot. We can put some connections there. So should we come around? Yep, that's perfect timing. Let's come right back to this curve. Get it under there. Pull it. Now see, it's trying to go down there. We want it up on this curve, so direct your wire, pull it tight. Tight. Oh, I'm enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this. This is great. And it looks naturally like it could just come right back here. Anchor to that swirl. In fact, let's anchor it underneath both of them, you think? Now let's just go under the swirl for now. I'm feeling it in my gut. We'll see if we're right. Okay, under there. And now where? This looks a little too messy up there. I want this to be its own separate thing. I'm going to try to slide that back. In fact, it needs to be more of a curve. It's just a straight line with a little bend. It almost looks like a mistake. Let's give it more personality. There we go. I normally don't do this after I already decided on my structure, but I feel like it just needs some personality, right? There we go. That's a little more personality. You gotta be careful not to slip. You gotta go. I'm going a little bit at a time because this square wire is like temperamental, and I don't want to give it a sharp corner either. There we go. I kind of like that. That begs the question: should I anchor something right in there to keep that? It's not really in danger of getting pulled out or anything. That's kind of bouncy up there. I don't like that. What can we do about that? That's way up there. Can work our way back up there. Yeah, let's do that. That needs to be anchored. So we'll take this and come under here again. All right, we're working our way around. Come under here. That's kind of a double thread. That would look messy, but I think we covered it up enough that it doesn't show. And we'll come right to there and grab this one. You know what? Let's do a double. Let's get under here and try to get under here. It's a little tricky. We've got to bend the wire to get it in there, but let's try to do all that in one motion so we don't... This wire's slipping all over the place. You can do it, wire. Got it. Got my finger, thumb under it, and oh, get in there. Trying to bend it two different ways at the same time, and it's like, what are you doing to me? I believe in you, wire. I believe in you, wire. I believe you can get the loop. I think about you all the time, you wire. You're so crazy, wild, so wire. Oh, it's in. See, I just had to sing to it. Did you even see that? Maybe you didn't see that. You just saw my hand struggling. That's okay. There wasn't much to see. Oh, it fell out. Wait, it's back in. Okay. Scaring myself. Okay, pull through, pull through, pull through. Pull through and see it. Once you go over there, you got to direct it. Pull through, pull through, pull through. Uh-oh, was that good going through there in one shot? Let's find out. I think I did the right thing. Let's pull it tight. Pull it tight. Ugh! That was a struggle. It's good, it's tight, and this guy's sticking up like a weird shoulder pad. It's not what we wanted. And this part is, even though this is beautiful, it's starting to look messy. Maybe this really will be the front, because that has a cleaner look to it. So what do? We don't want this shoulder pad like this. Let's see if we can bend him back. Up, he popped right back in. We just had to give him more of a curve. All right, looks good on that side. We're good. Let's go a little further with that. There we go. It's cool. I like it on both sides, really. I mean, and it's totally secure now. This stone is not going anywhere. I'm happy with it. Let's end it. Let's not make it any more busy than we need to. Now this guy's up here. What's he going to do? Is he going to make his way back up? Yeah. It's going to have to get a little busier until he finds his way. We'll put him through the same tapestry right there so he's not making any too much extra mess with the busyness. Let's get him under here. There we go. We threaded him up through there, and now let's just wrap him around the scarf and tuck him in right there into that big bowl. Because he's a thin wire, we don't want to just cut him and tuck him because he could bounce right back out. We want to give a little extra and roll a spiral, because that spiral will have a lot more structure and bulk to it. So then when we shove him in, he'll be more likely to stay put. So this is a one swirl we're not doing for show. No one will ever see it, sadly, but it still holds a purpose. Take it like that and then shove him in. Stab him in there. And he should be good. You can put a tiny drop at U6000 in there if you want to make sure he never bounces out, but it's pretty good. Make sure he didn't peek his head out that side. He started to. All right, this guy, same, yep. Pull that down. These guys started to move a little bit from everything we were doing, but we can pull them right back. No problems. This guy, pull him into the scarf, wrap him around several times, and he's ready for the same thing. We'll make him a swirl, we'll shove it in. Make the swirl, shove it in. See, that could be a song too. Everything could be a song. I believe in you, wire. Make a swirl, shove it in. Could we combine those two to like a beautiful song about wire wrapping a carnelian agate? Look at that pretty swirl. No one will ever see it. Get in there. All right. Good. Let's push everything a little bit further down here. But it's not moving too much because it's being held by all those anchors, and that's a beautiful thing. And I have some big, nice copper jump rings that will just finish that off so that the bail is going the way it's supposed to for the cord or the chain to get through. Look at that. 5 jump rings. So that's a big, meaty heart there. I think a brown cord will be good.